Hi everyone, welcome to ITUNGO Pastures. My name is Vasta Kubakurunji and today I have something really amazing for you. Something exciting, something that is going to help your farm. So keep looked on. My name is Vasta Kubakurunji. I am a journalist as well as an agribusiness promoter. So today I am here in Wakiso at ITUNGO Pasture Farm. I am with Jolie Asimwe, the proprietor of ITUNGO Pastures, and we are going to be diving deep into pasture growing. We are going to be talking about pasture production, animal feeding and nutrition, of course. Why have you chosen pasture growing and animal feeds?
Thank you so much, Vasta. ITUNGO Pastures started way back in 2016 in Namayumba as a dairy breeding farm. We use it to sell heifers. But along the way, as we sold to farmers, we later on discovered that most of the farmers didn't know how to look after the animals. Because most of the farmers, we would give them animals, and then after like 3 months, you find when the animals are emaciated and also they fail to perform according to the expectations of farmers. The reason we started out ITUNGO Pastures so that farmers, they get helped and they stop burning their fingers.
What problems are you trying to solve by doing this? Because if I have my parents outside there in Masindi who are not doing pasture growing, who are facing problems of natural calamities, because many people are relying on natural rains. What's that biggest problem that you're trying to solve?
There are some people out there selling poor quality pasture seeds. As ITUNGO Pastures, we came in to solve that. Come when you're rest assured that we are going to supply you with the very good pasture variety. Whether proteins or carbohydrates, just get assured that ITUNGO Pastures will serve you better. The other problem that ITUNGO Pastures is solving, you very well know that outside there, the land is limited and the population keeps on increasing. We give farmers outside there high quality pasture seeds, in that even if you plant it in a very limited space, you will be able to harvest higher biomass, and that one will help you to keep your animals. Even if you are having half an acre there, you can own like 40 cows. Don't say that we are motivational speakers. Come yourself to ITUNGO Pastures in Wakiso town and you see that yourself. Post-harvest handling and storage issues. We provide to farmers silage bags and manual hay balers. These tools, they help out farmers to preserve their pastures for future use. For example, the manual hay baler, they use them to bale the hay. I hope you have seen the pastures. When they get ready, they harvest, dry it, and if you want to keep it for future use, you've got to bale it very well using our ITUNGO manual hay balers. Also, silage bags, I hope you have seen them. They help in storing silage for future use. Farmers, I encourage all of you, if you haven't come to ITUNGO Pastures, you're missing out a lot, and yet we are just here 17 kilometers from Kampala town. The other problem that ITUNGO Pastures is solving is provision of agro machinery and small tools like motorized forage cutting machines, manual forage cutters, manual hay balers. These machines, they help farmers, some to make silage, others to make hay, and they ease work. We do not only stop at selling to you our seeds. Most of the farmers, if you come to ITUNGO Pastures, you acquire seeds from us, we shall again follow you back and we give you a market for your byproducts.
Do you also guide them on the planting and everything?
Oh yes.
For you to produce the quality that you need?
Yeah, we do that. And when you come to ITUNGO Pastures, they will take you around our pasture demo gardens, they tell you, they will show you very many pasture varieties. They say, for example, like this is the bracharia, it makes good hay, this does this. And at the end of it all, even you yourself who came when you're green, you will be able to make a very good decision. You will be able to know that if I take this kind of pasture, it's going to help me out if I am interested in free range or I'm doing a zero grazing unit. ITUNGO pastures, that is exactly what we do.
I want to call upon all people outside there that are struggling. Before you burn your fingers, look out for the knowledge. What can you do best for you to thrive? Back to you, Jolly. What are some of the pastures that someone outside there can try out and be the best at milk and meat production?
We promote very many pasture species. Pastures are categorized into two. We have those pastures that are specifically for carbohydrates, and we also have those that are good for proteins. Among the carbohydrates, begin with the forage sorghum. This is a very good carbohydrate with high yields and drought tolerant. The second one should be napier. We have very many varieties like pakchong, like Australian red napier, junkao, name it. They are also very drought tolerant, and when you're interested in higher biomass, that is so good. Go with napier grass. Maize is also a very good carbohydrate, and these can help you out in making silage. We have hay pastures, but at the same time, they are also carbohydrates. And among these, we have got Bracharia species, Panicum species, Chloris Guyana. All these pastures, they are very drought tolerant and also very good at making hay. Among the proteins, we have got alfalfa, the queen of forages, because of its high protein content. We also have super K vines. If you have not acquired or planted super K vines, you're cheating your animals.
I know, right?
Please come to ITUNGO pastures and get yourselves super K vines. Proteins are bodybuilding, but also on the side of farmers, especially those in dairy farming, they increase milk production. We talked about alfalfa. There are very many proteins. Number one was alfalfa. We have desmodium, we have got centrosema, lablab, mukuna. All those are very good. And also we have trees and shrubs like caliandra, mulberry, name it. However, you only need a few. You make sure that among your feeds, you've got what will provide carbohydrates, you've got what will give them proteins. Of course, there are minerals and some other supplements, you can always have them later. So you should always contact your agronomist, so you can even come to ITUNGO pastures. That's why we are here, farmers. We are here to help out farmers, not to burn their fingers. And also when you're planting these pasture varieties, it depends on the nature of the land where you come from. We've got pastures that grow in mountainous areas, those cattle dry corridors. So it is better you always let us know where you're coming from. If you have a waterlogged area, we shall help you select a variety that suits out where you come from.
I love this, because some people have failed at this and they blame the government. You find them blaming the government or maybe blaming farming, and they're like, well, me, I've tried and failed. But you must know. You must know where you come from. It's like knowing who you are before doing something. So guys, all you can do right now is to follow us on our social media platforms. You can go at ITUNGO Pastures on all social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and everything, to follow us for more information. How old is this grass?
This is like 2 months. For it, it's called rough because it doesn't grow below that. Actually, it's ready for harvest.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've talked about all these things, and now I want us to tackle harvest and preservation, which is the most crucial part. I think people can really succeed at growing and doing all these things, but again, storage. Does grass go bad also?
It is true, they go bad. So it is always better to always time yourself. That's why there is a slogan actually in farmers that you should make hay when the sun shines. If you see that it is now shining, it is always better to cut your grass and you start making hay out. Always cut. After cutting, you dry them, and you do not just dry for the sake of drying. There are some farmers whom you tell that you go and dry, and they cut and leave them in the garden for the whole month. There, the pastures are losing the nutrients. It is always better you dry. After cutting, you dry your pastures like for 2 days outside there. Then you turn them, you give them another 2 days. After they have dried, you can bale them. There we are on hay. So baling, if you have planted for commercial purpose, you can use a tractor. But not all farmers can afford a tractor. Come to Itungo Pastures and get yourselves the manual hay balers. We shall take you through, we demonstrate how they use, and you'll be able to preserve your pastures for the animals. When it comes to silage, especially the sorghum, the napier species, it is always better you cut your pastures, you wilt it a bit to reduce on the too much water or on the freshness. And you come to Itungo Pastures and get yourself the forage cutting machine. Those who have produced on a bigger basis, you can still use a tractor. So you should always come to Itungo Pastures, who are the experts in this.
Thank you.
And they give you directions on how you're supposed to go about it in order to preserve your pastures for the animals.
So Jolly, we've looked at the process of doing all this, from planting, harvesting and storage, and the problem is now feeding. You know, I can fail at that last step. Really, it's very possible if I don't do the right things. So how do I feed my animals?
I'm going to advise those farmers, if where you're based, most of the village farmers, you find when the milk prices are very low. So such farmers, you are advised to mix your hay, your silage, and your coriander, your alfalfa, all those proteins that I mentioned about earlier, and you feed your animals. If you find yourself you're based in town where the milk prices are high, it is okay. On top of hay, silage, you can mix in a dairy meal. Whereby a dairy meal we mix like maize, soybean, cotton seed cake, and other concentrates. There are very many, and you sell your milk at a higher prices. There you will be breaking even. On top of feeding, I've realized most farmers I meet, or those that come to Itungo Pastures, farmers have got a tendency of feeding their animals overgrown pastures. If you have planted hay pastures, it is always better to harvest them at bloom stage. And if it is for silage, it is always better, especially like napier varieties, always harvest it when it is at 4 feet tall. For example, now look at the napier behind me. It has overgrown, it is taller than me. Remember, when you leave the pastures to overgrow, all the nutrients that are in the leaves, they will escape and go to stems. And when we are feeding our animals, we always feed on stems. We feed on leaves rather. So you should take note of that. If it is maize and it is the way you will know that it is ready for silage, it is always better you harvest it at hard duff stage. That is the best maize for making silage. Yes.
Thank you so much for moving with us, and I hope you've learned or you've picked a word from this. If you've not been writing, all you have to do is to come at ITUNGO and get yourself all this information. So Jole, what are your last remarks?
I want to thank the viewers and most especially farmers out there. I know there are also our clients who have been with us, whom we have moved the journey together. Thank you so much. And to those aspiring farmers, please come to ITUNGO Pastures and you get yourself the whole information from the beginning, even what we have not mentioned, in order for you not to burn your fingers.
Thank you very much. I also want to thank you again. I remain your girl Vasta Kurunji, and guys, don't forget to come here to learn the best. You have to learn practically, and I want to end this with a quote by Kabushenga, that it's not what you expect that gets done, but what you expect that gets done. So thank you so much for loving us, and thank you so much for following us. Follow us on all the social media platforms for all this content. I love you.